Okay, well, wait a second. We're trying to work it out here. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you guys can hear me now. There's always a problem to do the live show. Okay, so if you guys cannot hear me, let me know. You still can't hear me? Doyeon, can you hear me? Hi, Taeyeon. Guys, let me know if you cannot hear me, okay? It's going to take a while to send out the sound, they say, so just wait a second. Be patient. Okay, Ming can hear me clearly. Great. Okay, so Ming, thank you for joining. Do-hyun, thank you for coming on the show. Taeyeon too. And yeah, it's already Friday and the weather has gotten chillier, you know. I think like 2 weeks ago, it was still hot from time to time, so I had the AC turned on. You have the echo. Masa has the echo. Oh, you like my hairstyle, Taeyeon. Okay. So guys, if there's any problem with the audio, let me know. Like our team is trying to figure out if there's any problem, but it seems like there's none here. Okay, so English coach Ami, you're here for the second time. Thank you for joining. All right. Okay. They say they have an echo here. Yeah, Basa says she has echo. Can you check on that too? All right. So the weather has gotten chillier, and this morning I actually woke up because it was too cold. I had the windows open, and it was actually cold outside, like chillier. Yeah. So now I think well, actually we have the AC on here because in the studio it gets hotter and hotter as time goes by. So yeah, we do have the AC on, but it's unnecessary to turn on the AC during the daytime. Okay, so Ami is here, Masa is here. I'm gonna be waiting for more people to join to start the show. And again, I have my pina colada here with me. No alcohol, no. It's not. It's like non-alcoholic cocktail. It's good. Okay. All right. So if the sound is still echoing, Masa, please let us know, okay? Please let us know so we can play around with this whole system or to adjust the sound. Gosh. It's always a lot of work to do this live show because we have to prepare a test set from the latest tests. You know, in Korea, there's been a lot of tests held because it's like that, it's the season to get a job, like getting a job season, we call it. We call it chi-up season. Chi-up means getting a job. So during the season, like people apply to take the test and then they need the test score, right? Well, I always tell you guys to hurry up and get the score ahead of time, but you guys never do that. So you always ask us, how can I get a score within like 1 week? How can I get the score within 2 weeks? And then, they call our lab asking if there's any way that they could achieve their goal within like 3 days of time. And sometimes I could help some of you because, you already have that, English skills. But some of you, if you don't have the basics, it's impossible. I'm just telling you, it's impossible to get that score. You guys are aiming for at least like, 640 or 6150 or 7, right? Well, it's not that easy to achieve that score. Flavia Almeida, you're coming from Brazil. Thank you for joining. Hi, teacher, Ms. Fong on TOEIC. I've been watching your videos a lot. This is the first time on the live. Thank you for joining. Well, Masa says the sound is very clear. And Ming, Ami says sound is good. Just went back from Seoul last Sunday. So you guys, you came back to wherever you are. And it's really an amazing place for shopping, really. You know what? I work in the center of Gangnam area. You know, Gangnam style, Gangnam. Hi, Tadashi. Okay, now, big shout out to Tadashi again. Thank you very much. Because, we made a little mistake for this live show earlier on. It was Wednesday when we uploaded the test. And then that was actually the test set for the last show, but we accidentally uploaded it. Like, I think we saved the wrong file or something. So we were able to change it within an hour, thanks to Tadashi. So Tadashi is like my final scanner. Okay. Well, Joy, yeah, I was talking about how I work in the center of Gangnam area. And, there are so many shops along that big street which is called Gangnam-daero. Daero means the big street. So there are so many stores and shops. And recently, a hamburger shop called Five Guys have opened up. And so many people are still lining up to get a taste of that place. And I haven't been there yet. I'm just gonna wait for about a month or two so that people just enjoy their burgers and there would be no more lines in front of the store. Anyways, when Tadashi came to Gangnam, I recommended this hotel, which is like right behind the main street. And he really, I think, liked it, right, Tadashi? So if you guys ever come to Korea, I'm getting nothing from that hotel, but there's this one hotel that, is really close to like the subway station. I think it's like 2-3 minutes walk. It's not even 2-3 minutes walk. And right behind, no, Teju was here too. And Tadashi was here too. Actually, Tadashi was here and he stayed at that place first, and then I recommended that hotel. That's how I remember. Yes. Taejin left his heart in Seoul, not in San Francisco. Okay. And hello, all the Brazilian nurses out there. Yeah, thank you for joining this live show. I know you guys watch my videos a lot to achieve your levels. And you guys are so fortunate because you guys speak a language which is quite similar to English. So you guys have an easier time achieving your goals or levels, right? Well, for Koreans and us Japanese and all these like Asian people, we have a tougher time. That is true. So yeah, well, watch as many videos as you can and try to get as much help as you can from my channel. I'm really happy to help you guys, okay? And I've been seeing a lot of people getting jobs in as nurses in Canada and America. And I think TOEIC speaking overall is helping you guys to have that chance, right? So I'm really happy. Okay, so I was talking about the hotel. All right, so let's move on. We're gonna move on to part 1. Okay, so this is the first passage of part 1. As always, I remade the test. I just got some rough review of how the actual test was like, and they had a weather forecast. And I believe my version is a little bit harder than the actual test version. So if you guys can read this, passage clearly and loudly, I'm pretty sure you could ace the test, okay? So test is a little bit easier than my tests on this channel. Just take a note of it, okay? Well, let me read this out for you guys first. This is Angela Higgins. Now that's the name here. Angela Higgins with your weekly weather forecast. We're expecting a quick shower on Tuesday, but you will be getting plenty of sunshine throughout the rest of the week. If you're planning to engage in any outdoor activities over the weekend, make sure to stay hydrated, apply sunscreen, and avoid being in the sun too long. Okay, so that was the passage. Read it aloud for yourself and just try to see which words are hard to pronounce and which 2 words are hard to link, okay? I'm going to show you how to do it, in a way. Okay, I'm going to show you some skills to do it. Okay, let's see. All right, so anybody, if you have any questions about the TOEIC speaking test or overall studying, English, just let me know. I'm here to help you guys, and that's what the live shows are for, right? Okay. I hope you guys are reading aloud. Remember the title of this part? It's read a text aloud. I've been talking with a lot of people who are applying or getting ready to, get a job as a nurse in the US. And, in order for them to achieve their goal levels, I tell them a lot about part 1, because most of you guys, when you're studying alone, you tend to think that part 1 is easier part, right? Relatively the easier one. So you guys just skip part 1 and go on to part 2. But actually, part 1 is the most important part. Okay, well, let's see. For example, the name Angela Higgins, okay? It's okay to read the name wrong, but, at least according to the alphabet sounds, right? It's got to be either Angela, if you know it well, or it could be Angela, right? Because it's the G, alphabet G. So it's either J or G, right? So you can read it as Angela Higgins or Angela Higgins. Higgins, either way. But the actual name is pronounced Angela Higgins. Angela Higgins. And then the word weather forecast. Weather, remember the TH sound? Remember always to stick out your tongue between your upper teeth and the lower teeth. So it's got to be weather forecast. And we're expecting a quick shower. Now, this is a tip for most of the Koreans and Japanese. We pronounce the word quick, quick, and it doesn't sound right, okay? Try to say ku. Ku is more like ku, and then move on to the next vowel, which is quick, quick shower on Tuesday, but you'll be getting plenty of sunshine. Now, when you're reading those three words, plenty of sunshine, those should be all linked together as if you're saying one word, because the whole thing means like just literally one thing, a lot of sunshine, right? So getting plenty of sunshine throughout the rest of the week. Here too, the rest of the week. Those 5 words are literally just one group, okay? So it's going to be throughout the rest of the week. Don't ever stop between any of these words. If you're planning to engage, the word is engage. It's not engage. Some people would say that, engage. It's engage. In any outdoor activities, make sure to pronounce the S at the end. Make sure to stay hydrated. Now, this is going to be the harder word, hydrated. Remember, I always tell you guys in English, when D and R is put together, it sounds more like a J sound. So it's got to be hydrated, not hydrated. It's hydrated, stay hydrated, apply sunscreen, and avoid being in the sun. So what you're avoiding is being in the sun. So those 4 words should be one group. Avoid being in the sun too long. Okay, so that is how you read this passage overall. And I'm going to read it to you in 2 versions. First one is the slower one. So here it goes. This is Angela Higgins with your weekly weather forecast. We're expecting a quick shower on Tuesday, but you'll be getting plenty of sunshine throughout the rest of the week. If you are planning to engage in any outdoor activities over the weekend, make sure to stay hydrated, apply sunscreen, and avoid being in the sun too long. Okay, when I'm reading it in the slower version, you guys have to notice that you don't have to be fast. You don't have to read a passage fast in order to sound fluent, okay? The speed doesn't represent your English ability, okay? Of course, it could be better. It would be better if you could read it exactly faster. Okay, so this is a faster version. This is Angela Higgins with your weekly weather forecast. We're expecting a quick shower on Tuesday, but you'll be getting plenty of sunshine throughout the rest of the week. If you're planning to engage in any outdoor activities over the weekend, make sure to stay hydrated, apply sunscreen, and avoid being in the sun too long. Now, when I'm reading the faster version, it's not only about the speed. You got to know that. I don't just read it fast. I have that intonation that's going to make it sound more fluent and sound more natural, okay? So you got to have the, intonation together with the speed. Don't you? Should I raise the tone in the last sentence? No. But, when you're saying, when you're after the word like hydrated, stay hydrated, you go up because it's not the end of a sentence, right? Apply sunscreen, the same. You go up because it's not the end of the sentence, and avoid being in the sun too long. You go down because finally there is the period, right? So after the commas, you go up because that's not the end of a sentence. Make sure to stay hydrated, apply sunscreen, and avoid being in the sun too long. All right, now we're going to move on to the next passage. Here we go. All right, I'm going to give you some time to have a look at the passage. And Gina asked, I'd like to know how to pronounce hydrated. Okay, this is how you read it. It's like Hi, hello, hi. And then not dre, not dre. Don't make the clear D and the R sound, but it's got to be dre, like J sound, dre. Hydrated. If you wish to make that clear T sound, it's fine. Hydrated, hydrated. But in American English, we're more likely to say hydrated. It's more likely to say hydrated. Okay? YJY. 쌤 안녕하세요. 이거 라이브 끝나고도 영상이 남아있나요? So, yeah, we do upload. We do have our live, uploaded on our channel. So you would be able to watch them. Okay? All right, so let's move on to the second passage. Now I'm going to read it for you guys once. Here's what you've all been waiting for. Today, we have invited Ben Walker, who is the author of the hit series Call of the Forest. His latest release has sold millions of copies all around the world, including America, Europe, and Asia. Without further ado, let's welcome him with a big round of applause. Whoops, I think I made sort of a mistake there. Well, but I'm going to tell you, it's about making the right phrases. So, millions of copies all around the world. It would have been better if I could have stretched the sound out a little bit, because that was like the end of a phrase. And then move on to saying, including America. So it's not right to say America, okay? In Korea, we say America. I'm pretty sure in Japan, you guys do almost something similar, right? America, right? That's wrong. America. Because the stress is on the second syllable, which is E, America. And then Europe on the first syllable, and Asia, Asia. It's the voice sound of SH. Asia. Okay? All right, so some words. Let's look at some of the words here. Here's what you've all been waiting for. So the words are contracted. You have, no, you've all been waiting for. So when you link the words together there, it's going to sound like you've all been waiting for. Here's what you've all been waiting for. Today, we have invited Ben Walker. Now, these two words are not so hard to read. Ben, then Walker. Okay, when you're reading the word walker, make sure you don't say it worker, because worker means like people who are working, right? Walker, okay, this is from walk and then ER. Walker is like, well, it doesn't necessarily mean people who are walking, but still it's walker, okay, not worker. Who is the author? Now we see this word a lot on this test. It's author. So you got to open up your jaw and say author of the hit series Call of the Forest. His latest release, the stress goes on the second syllable, which is release, has sold millions of copies. No copy, or copy. It's copies. You got to stress the first syllable. Copies all around the world, including America. Notice how I don't say America. It's America. You don't have to even make that like clear ah sound. It's America. Europe. You, like you and I, Europe. And Asia. Because remember, it's the voice sound of SH. So it's Asia. Without further ado, without talking about too much, let's welcome him with a big round of applause. Now we see these phrases a lot. The first phrase is without further ado. I hear some mistakes made by my students. They would say without further ado, but it's ado, because there's no stress on A, but the stress is on D. So without further ado, and then a big round of applause. You see this all the time, right? A big round of applause. Without further ado, let's welcome him with a big round of applause. Masa, can you explain the difference between further and father in pronunciation? Okay. When you're saying father, there's no R in the middle, right? So it's fa, father. Literally, it's just fa, no R. Well, but if you are learning British English, you might sound the same because in British English, FAR would have the same sound as father, fa, right? So, but here, fur, it's the difference comes from the vowel, right? The sound is generated from your chin here. Further. If I make the R sound, it's going to sound like this. Further. So this is American English. Further. But if you're doing it in British English, it would sound like further. But father, you have to open up your jaw. So it's father would be the British version. Okay? Ming, my goal is 160, but I got 150 this month. So I found your amazing videos in here, being here, preparing for the test in this month. Okay? There's no in front of the word this. Okay? Ming, and I'm pointing this mistake out to you because that's the reason why you couldn't get 160. If you want 160, you got to be more careful about your grammar. Okay, so I found your amazing videos and being here preparing for the test this month without in. Okay, so I'm not here to criticize your English. I'm just telling you the reason why you weren't able to get 160. So just be careful, be a little bit more careful with your grammar and you shall be able to get 160 because it's only 10 like, you know, difference. Like difference is only 10, right? Okay, so it's for me to read it twice. First, the slower version. You guys always say that my slower version is not slow enough, so I'm going to do it really slowly. Here is what you've all been waiting for. Today, we have invited Ben Walker, who is the author of the hit series Call of the Forest. His latest release has sold millions of copies all around the world, including America, Europe, and Asia. Without further ado, let's welcome him with a big round of applause. And notice when I say applause, I open up my jaw. Applause. Touch your jaw when you're reading this word, applause, and see if your jaw is opening up. Applause. Applause. Okay? And then I'm going to go with the faster version. Here's what you've all been waiting for. Today, we have invited Ben Walker, who is the author of the hit series Call of the Forest. His latest release has sold millions of copies all around the world, including America, Europe, and Asia. Without further ado, let's welcome him with a big round of applause. And with only my part 1, I'm pretty sure I would get level 8. Yeah. So don't skip part 1 if you guys are like getting ready for TOEIC speaking by yourself. Because you think that it's easier, right? Because there's a script there, but it's not easy. When you read it, record it, and listen to your sound of reading, it wouldn't sound so natural, okay? So you got to practice part 1. All right. So haven't gotten many questions there. I'm going to move on to part 2. Okay. I chose this picture. There was a table tennis table there, okay, in the picture. And people were playing table tennis. That's why we chose this picture. But the funny part, the more interesting part about this picture are those 2 guys in the back. There, the 2 guys in the back, right there. Playing what? Do you guys know what that is? Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, because there once was a test with that thingy in it, and people are going, oh my God, I've seen that at like, you know, American pubs. But what is that called? And they were asking me so many times about this, like the name of this thing. You know, like you sort of like, you know, play around with some people hanging on the bars. Let me know if you guys know that word. Okay. Mini soccer? Ming? No, that's not called mini soccer. Here's a clue. Oh yeah, Maxine, you've got the word. It's called foosball. It's not football. They're actually playing football, but it's called foosball. Yeah. Maxine's got the name right. It's foosball. Okay, so yeah, then Gia. Hello, thank you for joining the show. Yeah, Masa. Okay, further and farther. Touch your jaws and you'll see. If it opens up, you got their sound right for father. Father. Okay. Foosball is the name. Okay. Show me some expressions that you would like to use for the answer of this picture. Foosball. Foosball. Foos. Okay, so there are actually 6 people, but I would describe these 6 people in 3 groups. Yeah, and if you guys have been studying with me, you know what to do, right? So the locations would be first in the foreground. I think second would be in the background, more towards the right. And then in the background, more towards the left. A little bit hard to get their locations right. Okay, so a Korean person says, I really thought part 1 is easy, but after hearing what you said, I knew how much more I should do. Thanks a lot. 부모시라고 님. Yes, part 1 is not easy. You know, all the students who come to me already have level 7. Their goal is to get level 8. So they're lingering around 170, 180, and wanting to know how to get 10 more points to achieve level 8, right? And then they just skip part 1. And I say, why do you skip part 1? Because they think that, like, you know, the time is really precious to, you know, study with me. And they, like, just want to get to the real parts. For them, that would be like part 3 or maybe part 5. But I tell them, no. Part 1 is already too important to just skip. So you guys have to, like, put in time to, you know, practice part 1 if you want to get higher scores. Okay, and Heiji, this is a picture taken in the community room. Okay, so Heiji, again, I told you this, I think. You have mentioned the room, community room, for the first time here. So it's not in a community room, but it's got to be in, it's not in the, but it's got to be in a community room. There are several people in this picture. On both sides of the picture, there are 2 men, and they're playing table tennis. That is so right. They're playing table tennis. And when we say, like, they're playing soccer, they're playing basketball, they're playing baseball, or they're playing table tennis, there is no a. There's no a. So you don't say playing a table tennis, but the correct way of saying it is playing table tennis. Hi, Seungwan-님. Seungwan-님, thank you for coming and joining our live show. Oh, by the way, guys, while you're here, please press the like button. It helps us a lot. You guys know that, right? Please press the like button. Please press the like button if you like my new hairstyle. It's only like 1 day hairstyle, but still. Yeah. Remember on my Instagram, I uploaded a picture with my bangs, the new one. But you know, it's really hard to take care of bangs. And girls, you know that, right? Especially when I'm like focusing on writing books, and when I'm focusing on my classes, I'm like looking down and I want everything out of my face. So I just like I cannot get rid of my bangs. I have to grow them out, but yeah. Okay, and English coach Ami says this is a picture taken inside a room, and there are many people in the room. 2 of them are sitting on a sofa and chatting with each other, talking with each other, okay? The other 2, but when you're saying the other 2, it means there are no more people, but actually there are more people there, right? So you could say another 2 are playing table tennis. Again, I mean, no a in front of table tennis, so it's got to be playing table tennis. Meaning this is a picture taken in a gym. I think this is more rather like a community room. Okay, there used to be a place like this. It's like a lobby area in a dorm. When I was in the Mississippi, Ole Miss, we had this like table tennis like thing in the lobby area. Yeah. So it's not a gym actually. There are 6 people in the picture, but it doesn't matter whether you call it a gym or a lobby or a community room. In the foreground, there are 2 men playing table tennis. In the background, there are 2 people standing and playing foosball. That's the right way of saying it, playing foosball. Behind them, 2 people are sitting on a chair and chatting with each other. Chatting with each other. Maybe they're having fun. Okay. And John Chu, this is a picture taken in a playroom. There are a lot of people in this. Oh, and another way of saying this place would be a game room. A game room. In the foreground, there are 2 men playing table tennis. On the left side of the picture, there are 2 people sitting on the sofa and chatting with each other, and they seem like they're a couple. Okay. They seem like a couple, or you could say it looks like they're a couple. It looks like they are a couple. KG. In the background of the picture, I can see 4 people and 2 of them are sitting on the sofa. Again, this is the first time for you to mention sofa, so it's better to say sitting on a sofa. Sitting on a sofa. They're talking face to face, and next to them, they're playing. Okay, they're playing with the playground equipment. It's a foosball, remember? They're playing foosball. They're playing F-O-O-S ball, foosball. Okay? All right, so I think I have most of the expressions out there ready for me to say the answer in 30 seconds. So guys, listen up. This is a picture taken in a community room or maybe a game room, and there are 6 people in this picture. In the foreground of the picture, there is a big table and 2 people are playing table tennis. And in the background of the picture, more towards the center, there are 2 people playing foosball, and 2 people in the background more towards the left are sitting on a sofa and talking together. And maybe people are having a good time in this place. Okay. And while I was, describing this picture, I found that it's really hard to describe the exact location. So what I said was this: in the background of the picture, more towards the middle or center, meaning those 2 people playing foosball, okay? And in the background of the picture, more towards the left, which is here, more towards the left, 2 people are sitting on the sofa and talking. Okay? Ami, I have a question. What is the name of the table for table tennis? It's a table. It's a table tennis table. That's why it's called a table tennis, right? There's a table. That's why I said there's a table and 2 people are playing table tennis. Sports room. Okay. There are several people and wearing casual clothes. I can see 2 men with beard. Do they have beard? Oh, okay. Playing table tennis. Good. Now, Hyung-gu-yuan, one tip that I have for you, don't try to put too much information in one sentence. Right here, you're saying first information would be beard, and then the second information would be playing table tennis. I would separate those 2 into 2 separate sentences. I would say I can see 2 men with beard, and they are playing table tennis. Okay? Now I'm going to move on quickly to the next question. Okay, so please type in all the expressions that you would say about this picture to describe this picture. 2 people are playing ping pong, yeah, but no duh. 2 people are playing ping pong. Yeah, it's what it's called, right? Ping pong or table tennis, ping pong. 2 people are playing without the, just ping pong. Brian. Brian, okay? Okay, so I chose this picture because in the actual test, there were only 2 people, like what you can see in the foreground towards the right. But, I chose this picture because there were more people in the background, more details to talk about. They're holding pedals. No, I think they're called rackets, aren't they? Racket. I played table tennis many times, but I'm pretty sure they're called rackets. Paddles. Okay. Okay, so let me know what you would like to say about this picture, the current one. You would have to first talk about the two people in the foreground, right? Or on the right. And then you have to move on to the two people in the back and then talk about those two people back there. Seems like today there's a long lag between you guys and I. Yeah. Taking a long time for you to type in some expressions here because this picture isn't so difficult, isn't it? Okay. Should I go on to the answer right away? Okay, so we have Taiji. This is a picture taken in an office. There are 3 people. Okay, there are 3. You're right, Taiji. There are 3. And on the right side of the picture, there are 2 women. Okay. Yeah, they're women. There are 2 women. And she's holding a pen and pointing at a document. I can see a laptop and some paper in front of her. Next to her, a woman wearing a watch is leaning on the table. Well, you know what? If you want to say the woman is leaning, she's got to be leaning more towards the table, right? When you're saying leaning, it means that person is putting some amount of weight on something, okay? But I believe she's not putting any kind of weight on her finger or 2, okay? She's just standing there and just like resting her fingertips on the table, just resting, okay? Like what I'm doing here, resting my fingertips on the cup, the rim of the cup. So she's not leaning. She's not leaning. There's no weight on her fingers or on the table. So it's just resting her fingers, or maybe even touching the table would be better. Okay, she's not leaning. And let's see. Maybe they're discussing something. That's right. John, this is a picture taken in an office. There are 3 people in this picture. In the foreground, there are 2 women talking to each other. Maxine, this is a picture taken. Oh my God, that kiwi seed got to my throat. Okay. Sorry. There are 3 people and one of them has curly hair. So true. This is a picture taken in an office. Ming said, in the foreground of the picture, there are 2 women. One of them is sitting on a chair and pointing something. Pointing at something or pointing to something. There's got to be a preposition, but normally it's at. The other one is standing and looking at the document. Okay, if the document was mentioned, then it's okay to say looking at the document. And there's a man sitting at a table and looking at something. That's right, and maybe they're busy. Good. Next to her, there's a woman standing. She's listening and smiling. Okay, there's a laptop. John says, one of them with curly hair is holding a pen and pointing to something on the document. And in the background, there's a man talking about something to another employee, I think so too. Or maybe he's having a Zoom meeting, like he's looking at a monitor or something. Or maybe he's looking at a woman across from him, like behind that wall. I think that's like a glass wall or something. Sounds very weird and spooky, but yeah. And in the middle of the picture, there's a woman. She's wearing a white shirt and looking at a laptop. Have we mentioned it first or have we not? Would be the problem. Next to her, there is a woman wearing a watch and pointing at the document. Okay, again, if you have mentioned the document already, it's okay to say at the document. But if this is the first time for you to mention it, then it's got to be at a document. For your information, guys, paper is uncountable. Masa, please have that in mind. Paper is uncountable, so you cannot say a paper. But document is countable, so you can say a document. This is a picture taken in an office. I can see 3 people on the right. 2 of them are looking at a piece of paper. So because paper is uncountable, you can say a piece of paper or a sheet of paper. Probably discussing over a project. Discussing something about the project. One has long hair, the other has short hair. Okay. Taiji in the background of the picture, man, a man. One man, right? One man is sitting down. Taiji, you have to be really careful with the use of a or an or the, okay? It seems like you're like leaving that out a lot and you're using them mistakenly. So English coach Ami says, this is a picture taken in an office. There are 2 women in the middle of the picture. The woman is sitting in front of her laptop and talking, right? Talking, that's a typo. Talking to the other woman. Lucia, this is a picture taken in an office. There are 3 people in the picture. On the right side of the picture, there are 2 women in business suits and discussing what? On the right side, a man is pondering, okay? And maybe they're working on a difficult task. Kumoshirakonim. I think this picture is taken in an office, and on the right side of the picture, 2 people are discussing something while seeing paper. No, you don't see paper. When you see paper, it's something that you like. It's talking about your ability. When you see something, it means something is appearing in your eye. But it's not like something is appearing in their eye, but it's rather they're looking at it, right? Looking at a piece of paper. In the back of the picture, in the background of the picture, a man is sitting and thinking about something or thinking of something. There's got to be a preposition. So part 2, overall, I've been, pointing out what mistakes about whether to use a or the, and be careful with the prepositions. Sometimes a verb needs a preposition. Sometimes a verb does not need a preposition. So you got to be careful with that. For example, talking about something, talking to something, the verb talk always requires a preposition, whereas discuss, you do not use it with a preposition. So you have to say discussing something, no preposition. All right, so now it's my turn. My turn. This is a picture taken in an office, and there are 2 people in this picture. And 3 people. In the foreground of the picture, I can see 2 women. One of them is sitting down. She is holding a piece of paper and pointing at it with a pen. And next to her, a woman is standing and looking at the paper. Maybe they're discussing something. And in the background of the picture, a man is sitting alone and he's looking at something. Maybe he's talking to somebody over the wall, and maybe people are busy. Now, this part gets tougher because you have a time limit of 30 seconds. And whenever I practice with my students, I ask them first, before coming here, have you guys ever timed your answer? And I was surprised that a lot of you do not time your answer. Why? I mean, you're being tested with a timer, but how come you're not timing yourselves? That's very important, okay? So use the timer on your phone. I have an iPhone, which is like almost 5 years old. And, there is a timer here, right? There's a stopwatch or there's a timer, okay? So you can use these functions to time yourselves, okay? And second of all, I asked them, have you recorded your answers and have you listened to them? And they say no. And I think like 9 out of 10 people say no about recording their answers. And that is so important. You're being graded. You're given scores according to what is recorded. And why aren't you listening to you guys, yourselves? Okay. So make sure to time yourselves. Make sure to record yourselves. I mean, whatever you're typing here in the chat room is not really the most important thing. Okay. The most important thing is how you sound saying these words. Okay? That is like the most important thing in TOEIC speaking. Okay. All right. So I think I said a lot about this picture here. Oh, Hanho. It seems like. There's got to be the word like before you say they're discussing their upcoming meeting. Okay, it seems like. Okay, now I'm going to move on. A little confused here. Okay, so part 3. Moving on to part 3. Imagine that an English newspaper company is conducting research to write an article. You have agreed to participate in a telephone interview about going on a picnic in your area. Going on a picnic. It's a picnic. Guys, don't say go to a picnic. I mean, that's like number 1 mistake I'm pretty sure you guys would be making when you're giving the answer. It's going on a picnic. It's not going to a picnic. Okay, so if you guys have just joined the live, I don't know why it's necessary, but press fast forward and try to like, keep up with the show right now. Oh, yeah, I know. Because when I join some of like other people's live show, when I join it and then I stop it, like there's a long lag, right? The show must go on, but you guys stop it because you guys are doing something, and then there's a time difference between you guys where you're watching and where the show is. Fast forward it to join where we are. Okay. Tran Huang Kim Long. To maximize mark, at least how many sentences should we describe in part 2, Miss Gwen? It's 30-second answer, right? I would say 5 seconds per sentence, which means literally like 6 would be minimum, but I would say times 2, 12 or maybe even 15. I think I pretty much would say like 15 to even 17 sentences, but you don't count your sentence like number of the sentences that you're saying. You don't necessarily have to count them. Yeah. What you can do is you record your answer and you write the script of your answer and see how many sentences you say, or how many did I say, and you can benchmark that. Okay. All right. Now, about going on a picnic. Again, I said it's not going to a picnic. Guys, when you say going to, it means you're going to a place. Going to the park, going to the Han River in Seoul, going to the mountain, going to the beach. It's an area, right? A location. But when you say picnic, it's got to be going on a picnic. Okay, so moving on. When was the last time you went on a picnic and who did you go with? What's that? When was the last time you went on a picnic and who did you go with? So if it becomes past tense, it's not go on a picnic, but it would become went on a picnic. When was the last time you went on a picnic and who did you go with? Okay. Now, for part 3, especially the first 2 questions, you have to answer them for 15 seconds each, right? And during that 15 seconds, if I say how many sentences would be good, I think 3 is minimum. 3, and then maybe up to 6 to 7. Yeah. So on average, 5. Yeah, you got to come up with at least 5 sentences for this question, for these 2 questions. So the first answer, the first sentence would be, I went on a picnic yesterday. And the second sentence would be, I went with my friends. And then you have 3 more left there. You need 3 more to fill up your answer. Okay, Teji says, I went on a picnic last weekend with my friends. That was the event of our company. Or you could say it was a company event. It was a company event and it was fun. So Teji, basically, this is only 3 sentences. This answer has only 3 sentences. So you got to stretch out your answer to 4 or 5. John, I went on a picnic last weekend with my parents and my dog, and we went to a park to enjoy the sunshine and the natural atmosphere. I think we really had a good time. Now, this is a tense. This is a past tense, right? So you got to say had a good time. I went on a picnic last month, and I went on it with my wife. Now, Ming, I think it's better to say, I went on a picnic last month with my wife. We had a lot of fun, okay? Because basically these 2 sentences are sharing the same verb and even the preposition. So just say, I went on a picnic last month with my wife. Venjia, last weekend I went on a picnic with my family and that was a chance to put us together. We have a good time together. We had. Again, past tense. What's putting people together? That was a chance. For this, if you guys are spending time with your family, normally we say I had a quality time. I had a quality time with my family, or we had a quality time. We had a quality time. Okay, and I went on a picnic last weekend, Gina, and with my friends, we went to a park in our neighborhood, eating food and enjoying the nature, or you could say enjoy nature or having a good time. Have a good time. Okay. Yancy, last summer I went on a picnic with my family. It was such a great time because we did a lot of activities and the weather was really good. Okay. Jack Pro, the last time I went on a picnic was about 1 month. I gone with my family. Now, Jack Pro-님, it's not good to start your answer out with the last time I went on a picnic. I see a lot of students making the same mistake because the question is saying, when was the last time you went on a picnic? And I see a lot of students saying, the last time I went on a picnic was, but that's not the way to approach, okay? You just say, I went on a picnic yesterday. I went on a picnic last week, or I went on a picnic last year. You don't have to say the last time. Hyung and Guyuan does the same thing here. Or go thin near new. The last time I went on a picnic was, that's not the way to say it. You just say, I went on a picnic yesterday. I went on a picnic last year or last month. That's just English. I mean, like grammatically, it's not wrong. I mean, natives would say that. Say, the last time I went on a picnic was, but, you know, you just say simply, I went on a picnic yesterday. Okay, I'm going to say the answers all together in the end, okay? Okay, and moving on to the next question, which is, when do you think is the best time of day to go on a picnic? Why? I'm pretty sure a lot of you would say, I think the best time of the day to go on a picnic is blah, 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 right? Okay, let's see. Let me see your answers. That thing is good. I went on a picnic when I was in secondary school. I went with my class. We went to a famous waterfall and lots of fun there. Okay. Tranthitunguk. Ms. Gwen, how often do you have live stream on YouTube? Once a month is the answer. I do it every month towards the end of the month. So in October, I'll be having a live show on the 27th, obviously. 27th of October is when I'll be having my next live stream show. Okay? It's normally the last Friday of each month, every month. Okay, when do you think is the best time of day? Show me your answers. It's okay to make mistakes. You guys are here to make mistakes. I mean, if you know how to answer these questions, why would you even be on this live show, right? 그 멋이라고, the Korean guy says. I went on a picnic last month with my friends. Yeah, that's the way to start, huh? That day, one of my friends, if you said one of, it means there's going to be a plural noun. So it's going to be one of my friends held a concert of her. This is a past, right? So it's got to be held. So we met together to celebrate her performance or recital. The weather was raining, but we were so happy. So normally when you say the weather was blah, blah, it's more like it was raining. It was raining. English coach Ami, cloudy day is the best to go on a picnic, not for going. So for, it normally requires a noun, and going is a verb, so it's better to say to go on a picnic, right? Sunny day is hard for me to stay outside for long hours. Oh, okay, so you could avoid the sun. You don't like the sunlight. That's just like my mom. I mean, we used to live in California, Los Angeles, when I was in elementary school. And you know, like California has a lot of sunny days, and she hated the sun. So on weekends, we would go out, my dad and my brother and the whole family would go out together, and she would always stay in the shade. And we were like playing around, we'd get really dark, and then dark skin, meaning dark, yeah. And then she would always be in the shade, and she would never move out of that shade. So she hated the sun, actually. She always says she's allergic to sun, which I could never understand because I love sun. I love being in the sun. Okay. Tejas says, I think the best time of day is between morning and afternoon to go on a picnic. After all, air is clean. It makes me feel good. Yeah, I agree so too. Well, I think the best time, Gia, I think the best time of day to go on a picnic is in the morning because I can enjoy good sunshine for my health. Yeah, you can get a lot of vitamin D, they say. You have to expose yourself to the sun, right? The sunlight to get lots of vitamin D. I prefer to go on a picnic in the afternoon, Gina says, especially at sunset. Okay, there's less direct sunlight, so it's cooler and more comfortable to go on a picnic. Good. And friend Gok, the last time I went on a picnic, not on the, it's on a picnic, is 3 months ago. I went on a picnic with my family because of my niece's birth. That's a typo, I guess. Gokfi Nurner, it is a sunny morning because at that time the weather is really fresh and we can do a lot of activities together to enjoy our picnic. Hung Yuan, I think the morning is the best time. This is because the air is clean and fresh in the morning, so I can get a full energy to enjoy outdoor activities. Okay. Maxine Wu says, do the questions appear on TOEIC Speaking have some similarities? Is it possible to practice as many topics as possible to get a higher score? Of course. I mean, that's what we're basically doing, right? I mean, if you go through all the TOEIC speaking tests on this channel, you would recognize, you can notice the similarities of the questions. I mean, they don't go all the, they don't go out of their way to like, come up with really outraging question, okay? They're quite similar, but they're never the same. That's the thing. They're never the same, but they're similar. Kimupung Kusang. Hi. Okay, Tran, Huang Kim Long is being in a tropical country. I like to go on a picnic in summer or early in the autumn. During that time, the beach and the sky is crazily blue. The atmosphere is fresh. That is the best time to go. I'm pretty sure Kim Long's English would be very fluent in person. That's like the feeling that I have. Your English is quite, natural. Although there are some mistakes like expressions and grammatical mistakes there, but still your English is quite natural. Masa, I think lunchtime is the best after hiking long distance because eating lunch is rewarding. It's very rewarding to eat lunch after a long hike. It's very rewarding to eat lunch after a long hike. If I rephrase it, okay? Hang Michelle, for me, I enjoy going to a picnic in the afternoon. Now, at the afternoon is wrong. It's in the afternoon. The weather is just right and nice at the time. Many people gather together so I can chat with them and have a good time together. I think lunchtime is the best. Okay, Masa, you got it partly correct. After hiking a long distance, it's rewarding to eat lunch. It is rewarding to eat lunch. 그 멋이라고? I think sunny day is the best time to go on a picnic. Oh, I like the way how Tran, Fitu, and Gok started the answer. We should go on a picnic in the morning, okay? Again, guys, I think the best time of day to go on a picnic is blah, 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 is okay, but it doesn't sound so natural, okay? It doesn't sound so natural, okay? So it's better to say, I think it's best to go on a picnic in the morning, or I think we should go on a picnic in the morning because blah, 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 because the weather is nice. Okay, now, got enough information for this question. Now I'm going to move on to the next question, which is, what kind of food do you bring on a picnic? What kind of food do you bring on a picnic? Okay, and this is a 30-second answer. And in Korea, there's a rule. There's like a rule for picnics. If you go on a picnic, you gotta have gimbap. You guys know what gimbap is, right? Gimbap, rice rolled in like seaweed paper, right? But it's different from sushi of Japan because it doesn't have fish. It doesn't have any fish. Normally, we never have fish unless it's like cooked tuna from the tuna cans. Yeah. We normally don't have raw fish inside or outside of it, so it's different from sushi, but it's quite good. And I hear a lot of people in Western countries these days love kimbap. The thing about kimbap is that it could be frozen, so that's how it is like distributed all around the world these days. It could be frozen, and if you use a microwave oven or any kind of oven, you could thaw it, or you could warm it up and then have it. It's really good. I love it. It's just that I try to avoid eating too much rice because sushi and kimbap both of them have too much rice inside, right? So I don't like to eat kimbap, but I love kimbap, especially the ones that mom make. My mom made. She used to make kimbap for our picnics. So in Korea, I told you it's like a rule, right? So when we're in elementary school or middle school or high school, we have a day for a picnic during the spring semester and during the fall semester. And once each semester, when we go on a picnic, it would be the day for moms to make lots of rolls of kimbap. And we would take them on our picnic, share them with our friends, with the teacher. But I know these days, a lot of moms are busy because they're working moms. So they would just order kimbap from just a famous kimbap restaurant. And they're like about 4,000원 or 5,000원, like, which is about $4 to $5. But these days, there are a lot of fancy kimbap restaurants, which would ask like $10 for a roll of kimbap. Kimbap is like something that's very cheap. It used to be something that's really cheap, but now it's getting more expensive. Okay. Zhang, this is my first time to join the live show. I noticed that Gwen changes hairstyle every time. Yeah, I love playing with my hair. I love to play with my hair. I made a big change to my hairstyle and I hated it. So I played around with it again this time before the show. Oh. This ugly piece of hair sticking out. Okay, much better. Then Gia, I would say that I will bring fast food on a picnic because it's really convenient. We don't have to cook a lot, and instead of that, we can spend precious time to play outdoor activities together. Do an outdoor activity, or do outdoor activities, either with an A or without S, right? Play outdoor games, do outdoor activities. Overall, I like Gia's answer. John Chu, I usually like to bring beverages and pizzas to a picnic because in Taiwan, outdoor activities are often hot, which makes us thirsty. Sounds good. It's only that pizzas are uncountable, so you would say I will bring some beverages and pizza. The reason for bringing pizza is that it's easy to carry, convenient to eat, and doesn't spoil easily. Okay, in Korea, you don't even have to bring them. They're going to deliver it to you. So along Han River, Han River, think about it. I mean, Taiwan has a long river too. And when there's a long river, the delivery man is not supposed to know where you are exactly, right? But these days you're placing order using the app in your hand, on your phone. So when you place it with your app, they know exactly where you are. So you don't even have to carry them. You just place it on an app, place an order on an app, and they're going to bring it to you. So it's really convenient. It's really, really everything's getting more convenient these days. Yuan says, fast food is often cheaper compared to others eating out at traditional restaurants. That's so true. Van Gia says, Jang said that this is his first time see you live, but he see your change hairs every time. That's right. Maybe he saw the recorded versions. Yeah, all the recorded ones, and then finally he's here for the live. He's here to check out my new hairstyle. Okay, Kulov. Hi, Gwen. I learned speaking skills from your videos and they helped a lot. I got 150 on my first try on speaking test this month, and though my goal is 160, your videos still help a lot. Did you? That's good. That's good. I'm really happy. That's the reason I'm here every Friday night. On every Friday night at the end of the month, right? Okay, now we've covered all three of them. So let me do it this way. I'm going to give you a version for level 7, and then I'm going to give you a version for level 8. I don't know if I can show you the difference, but here's what I would say for level 7. Where's the timer? So when was the last time you went on a picnic, and who did you go with? Okay. I went on a picnic last weekend, and I went on a picnic with my family. We went to a place called Han River, and it was very nice. We had a great time outdoors. Actually, that's a little too good for just level 7, 160. That would be like level 7, 170 or 180. Okay. And for level 8, when was the best time? Last time you went on a picnic, and who did you go with? Actually, yesterday I went on a picnic with my family, and we went to this place called Han River in Seoul, and it's a river, but along the river there's a park, so a lot of people enjoy their picnic there, and we went there yesterday. Would be my answer. Okay. You guys just get the difference, okay? I can't describe the difference, but that's the difference that I feel for level 7 and 8. Okay, now moving on. You guys could discuss the difference between level 7 and level 8, okay? In the chat room. When do you think is the best time of day to go on a picnic, and why? For level 7. I think like late morning would be the best time of day to go on a picnic, because it's not too hot, it's not too sunny, and you can enjoy your lunch, so it's good. Again, that was a little too good for 7 160, so that's more like 7 180. Okay, but if it would be level 8, when do you think is the best time of day to go on a picnic? I would say evening would be the best time, because normally during the daytime it could be very sunny, and I would never go on a picnic on a rainy day. So on a very nice day during the evening time, I like to go out and enjoy a picnic. It would be breezy and nice. I say more, right? I say more. There are more word counts for level 8 answers. Last question. What kind of food do you bring on a picnic, and why? For level 8 and level 7, this is I'm getting confused. So this is a level 7 answer. I like to bring something easy to eat, because we're eating outside and we can't have like good meal, a perfect meal. So I think I would bring pizza, or maybe chicken. Especially in Korea, we eat something called gimbap, and it's really easy to eat because you use your finger to eat them. It's very delicious too. Okay, so again, this was a little too good for 7 160. The answer was a little too good, okay? So I'm saying my level 7 answers would be level 7 170 or even 1780. Now, the version for level 8. I think you could bring all kinds of food these days, and you don't even have to bring any kind of food for picnics these days because you can order them using your app. I mean, I have this app called 배달의 민족. We use them. All the Koreans use them. And when you use that app, you can order pizza, chicken. You can order whatever you want. And if you really want to bring any kind of food for your picnic, then I would say I would bring some kimbap, which is like a rolled rice inside a seaweed paper, and it's really good. So it's easy to eat, it's simple, it's delicious, it's good. Hey, I think that's what you guys wanted to see, right? Knowing the difference between level 7 and level 8. And level 6? Did I do a version for level 6? Okay, let me try. I don't know if I can do it, but let me try. Okay, level 6. When was the last time you went on a picnic, and who did you go with? Last time I went on a picnic was 2 weeks ago. I went to picnic with my family, and we had fun. Okay, the problem is there were not many grammatical mistakes, but I was trying to show what level 6 would sound like. Another level 6 answer. When do you think is the best time of day for a picnic? I think evening is the best time of day to go on a picnic because evening is very cool, and evening there is not many sunlight. That's like level 6 140 or 150. Okay. And what kind of food do you bring on a picnic, and why? I bring on a picnic many kinds of food, and chicken or pizza I think is a good food because it's I order chicken and it's easy to eat. And it's simple, and you can order, and it's easy, delicious. Oh, that was more like 6 130. Okay, that was more like 6 130. Which scores are for level 6? It's like 130, 140, 150. Level 6 are the ranges from 130, 140, and 150. Level 7 ranges from 160, 170, 180. And then level 8 are 190 and 200. So cute. Which version was cute? Level 6 version or level 7 version? Level 6 version or level 7 version or level 8 version? Gia, it's the same to me every time. Take the speaking test. So your level is what, Gia? Let me guess your level. 6 140. If you do the best, like if you do better, it would be level 6 150. Okay. So you guys got the difference? You guys got the idea of what level 6 and what level 7 and what level 8 would sound like? Okay. I think that's like the most important part of the show. You guys would try to think, oh, so I sound like level 6. I sound like level 7. Or how can I sound like level 7? Okay, so you guys always, I see these comments that you guys post underneath the videos, and you guys say, I said this is on my test, and I don't know what, do you think I can get level 7? I can never say anything about it because I have to listen to your answers. When I see your answers, according to your written answers, it's good, it's all good. And some people don't even write up their answers. They're like, oh, I made, this pause. And then I think I said enough. I think I was saying good enough. And then I was saying, I use this kind of expression, but I didn't say that. And they're not actually telling me what they said for their answers. And they're like, do you think I can get level 7? I don't know. I just have to listen to your answers. I got to hear your answers. I got to hear what you said. I got to hear your pronunciations. And it's spilled my pina colada. It's like everything is required for a better score. Here you go. Chart. You think my accent is good? That's because I'm native. I grew up in the States. I was raised in the States since I was 7. So, they say 7 is like the best time to learn a new language before 9 or 10. I was there. And normally girls, learn a language better than the boys. So yeah, if you think my accent is the reason I get higher scores, then you guys got to work on your accents or intonation. To be exact, intonation. It's not the pronunciation. Normally, you guys have good pronunciation. I mean, I've been teaching a lot of Korean people, and I've seen Japanese people like Teiji and Tadashi. They all have great pronunciations. Okay, they have great pronunciation. People say Japanese people have bad pronunciation, but they had great pronunciation. The thing is, the Koreans and Korean students and Japanese people that I've met, the problem was with their intonation, and it's really hard to get. If you want to get like natural intonation, you got to watch a lot of American dramas or British dramas, like dramas which they speak English. You follow them, you get better intonation. Okay, now I'm going to give you guys the question. Hold on. I have it here. The first question, when and where will the festival take place? When and where will the festival take place? When? Where? And this is the part where you have to be really careful with your grammar, right? It's all about the right helping verb, right verb that you choose, right prepositions that you choose, the subject, which word are you going to be using for your subject? When and where will the festival take place is the question. When and where? Give me your answers. When and where will the festival take place? So next week is going to be Korean Thanksgiving holiday. And the holiday is really long, from Wednesday to the next week, the week after Wednesday. So it's almost a week long. Okay, Pang Michelle says this festival, not present tense. It's going to be future tense because it's something that's going to happen in the future. So you have to say, this festival will take place at Central Park in September. You could say in Central Park too, because it's not like the whole place, but it could be a location in the Central Park. And Maxine Wu, well, the festival will take place at the Central Park on Saturday, September 2nd. Please keep that in mind. Right. Masa, the music festival will take place on Saturday, September 2nd at the Central Park, Orlando. Gina, it will take place in the Central Park and it will be held on Saturday, September 2nd. The music festival will be held in Central Park, Orlando on September 2nd. 그 멋이라고. That was good. Tran 3, 2, your face looks so cute when you try to get a score. Do I? Oh my God. So it's got to be level 6. Okay, English coach Ami, the festival will take place, not will be taken, will take place. Or you could say will be held on September 2nd in the Central Park. In, at are both fine for the park. And it will take place on Saturday, on September 2nd. That's why we just say on Saturday, September 2nd, right? You could share the same preposition. And it will be held at, or it will take place at. Xavier Jang, hello Gwen, I come here to tell you that I finally got my score off level 7. Really? Wow, great. I told you you're going to get it. I told you, I knew it. Because once I talked to you, I knew that your English is really good. So I told you that you're going to be able to get level 7. Thank you for the compliment on my hairstyle. Okay, YJY, it'll take place on Saturday, September 2nd, and it'll be held at Central Park. Hyung, you said something like, let me see now. It'll take place on Saturday, September 2nd in Central Park in Orlando. Please keep it in mind. That's good. That sounds very natural. I mean, if you can say that on your test, you're going to be able to achieve better score. Okay. All right. So for this one, the first question, which is, when and where will the festival take place? I'm going to say, the festival will be held on Saturday, September 2nd, and it'll take place in Central Park in Orlando. And if you wish to join the festival, please be there by 11 a.m. because it's going to start at 11. Don't be late. Okay, I mentioned the time first. I mentioned the time also because I had enough time to talk about the time information, but you don't have to, okay? Just tell them about the location and the date, and that's just good enough. Okay, and let me read you the second question. The second question is, I was told that the first performance will start at 10:30 a.m. Is this correct? Ooh. I was told that the first performance will start at 10:30 a.m. Is this correct? That's your second question. I was told that the first performance will start at 10:30 a.m. Is this correct? Okay. So normally the second question is always a yes or no question, right? So when you're starting your answer, it's going to be either yes, blah, 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 or no, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I was told that the first performance will start at 10:30 a.m. So is this correct? And you guys, if you have been watching the show all along, you guys have noticed that I already mentioned the time, the starting time in my previous answer, right? So there's a way to, work on that too. I'm going to show you how you could work on that later on. But let me hear your answers. Let me see your answers for this question. I was told that the first performance will start at 10:30 a.m. Is this correct? And also for the first answer, I try to use both expressions. It will be held and it will take place, right? You don't necessarily just, put all the information into one sentence. Gina said, I'm afraid you have the wrong information. The first performance will be held at 11. Please remember that. Good. Masa said, no, I'm afraid that the first performance will start at 11 a.m. If you want to get on the line, get in line. Okay, get in line. It might be all right to be there. It might be better. It might be better to be there early. English coach Ami, I'm sorry, but you've got the wrong information. The first performance will start at 11 a.m. That's like the best answer so far. Very clean, very clear, and very short, and everything is in there, so nothing more or less. Zhang, I'm afraid that you have the wrong information. The first performance will start at 11 a.m. Good. Tran, Gog, Okay, it will be held on Sunday, September 2nd, and it'll take place, that was the previous one. Okay, 그 무엇이라고? I think you got the wrong information. You can't count information, okay? First of all, information, the word itself is uncountable. The first information will start. Again, this is something that's happening in the future, so it's got to be in future tense. Okay, it would be good to arrive earlier than 11 to enjoy the festival. Okay, Tran, please bear that in mind. That's a good information. That's very good expression. Please bear that in mind. Ming, I'm afraid that you have wrong information. You have the wrong information. The first performance will be played at 11 a.m. Hang Michelle, actually, it's not correct. Hang Michelle, it's better to say you have the wrong information or you got the wrong, right information. Or you could say you got incorrect information. The first performance, which is performed by local church choirs, will start at 11 a.m. By the way, you guys, do you know how to read that word? It's choirs. It's not even chores. It's not choirs, but it's choirs. Local church choirs. It's a very hard word. No, you have the wrong information, John Chu. The first performance will start at 11 a.m. and it's called church performance. Okay. If you want to say something about that, specific information, it's better to say at 11 a.m. It will start at 11 a.m. and there will be church performance given by local church choirs. Okay, or you could say local church choirs, they're the subject. Those are the people, right? Local church choirs means groups that sing. Those like church choirs, like people. There used to be a movie called Sister Act. In that Sister Act, Whoopi Goldberg, Goldman, is it Goldberg or whatever her name? Whoopi, yeah. She was acting like a nun at this church and she was singing a choir. Those are the local church choirs, and they're going to perform something on stage. That's what it means by church performance, by the local church choirs. Okay? And the word is not chores, it's choirs. Okay? So for the second question, I'm going to say something like this. Remember I mentioned the time already in my previous answer, so I would say it's something like this. Like I said earlier, the festival will start at 11 a.m. So it's not 10:30. So I don't think you're going to be late, and it's fine to arrive there earlier, but it will start at 11. So what I said is like I said earlier, or like I mentioned earlier. Or you could say like I mentioned before, because for the answer during my answering time, in my first answer, the previous answer, I said already about the starting time. Okay? Yuan, I'm sorry, but you have the wrong information. The first performance will start at 11. Please remember that. That is a great answer. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to say too much for part 4 because I've watched a lot of you say the answers, but for part 4, if you say more, there are more chances to get things wrong because this part is all about grammar. And it's really hard to control every grammar appearing on your, in your answers. So just say less. I think saying less is better for part 4. Okay. All right. And moving on to the next question, the last one, where you have to answer for 30 seconds. I'm a big fan of jazz music. So could you please let me know during which performance says I will get to enjoy jazz music? I'm a big fan of jazz music. Could you please let me know during which performances I will get to enjoy jazz music? Okay, so I don't even have to read till the end. All you have to do is just hear that word jazz, right? I'm a big fan of jazz music, and you know what to do. Could you please let me know during which performances I will get to enjoy jazz music? Jazz. And believe it or not, for all the last questions of part 4, they're asking for something like 2 that are related to whatever they're asking, right? They're always asking, like, looking forward to hear 2 things related to their questions. That's like a rule here. Okay, I'm a big fan of jazz music, guys. I'm a big fan of jazz music, and could you please let me know during which performances I will get to enjoy jazz music? I'm a huge fan of jazz. So I see in the chart, I see the word jazz twice. At 3 p.m., you see the jazz and heritage, the musicians, the name of them, they are international jazz musicians. You see? So many musicians will come on stage and play jazz, and the performance is called Jazz and Heritage. Okay? And at 5, instrumental jazz music, House of Jazz. So when I have these 2 pieces of information, it sounds like the musicians, the name of the musician, I think it's like a band or a group, House of Jazz, will perform instrumental jazz music. Or you could say will play instrumental jazz music, right? So you're given some information here. 2 pieces of information. The word House of Jazz, so they're like a band, and these words should be used as a subject in your sentence. House of Jazz, and then you need a verb. In order to make a sentence, you need a verb. The object would be music, right? Instrumental jazz music. So your verb should be will perform or will play instrumental jazz music. That's how you make up a sentence using the information given on the chart. Okay, so Han-ho, you said there are 2 things scheduled that might be suitable for you. First, at 3 p.m., the international jazz musicians will give a performance on jazz and heritage. Okay, the word heritage, you got to know the meaning of the word heritage. Heritage is something that you get from your ancestors, from the early generations, your former generation. You're from your father or your grandparents or your great-grandparents generation. You're getting something from them. It's like inheriting something. That is called heritage, okay? So jazz and heritage, they cannot give a performance on heritage, okay? So what they're doing is like putting on a show, and they titled it Jazz and Heritage, okay? So the whole concept or whatever is dealt in the, that during the performance is going to be about jazz and the heritage of wherever they're from. So I'm pretty sure Japan has their style of jazz, right? Korea, I'm pretty sure Korean jazz musicians have their style of jazz. Jazz is not it's not Eastern music, right? It's not our traditional music. It's brought from some place in the Western countries. But when they're brought to Korea, it's mixed with Korean culture, and then it becomes our heritage. It goes down to the next generation, and then it becomes heritage. English, Ami, we have a great jazz performance starting at 5. Okay. Deleted it. Jang, you said, lucky you, there is jazz and heritage performance at 3 p.m. and that will be performed by many international jazz musicians. See, you got to be really careful when you're writing your answers for part 4. I mean, when you're writing them wrong, when you're typing them wrong, it means they're definitely going to say them wrong, right? And Hung, you said, according to the schedule, there are 2 performances. The first one is Jazz and Heritage. It will be shown by international. It will be performed by. Okay. The second one is instrumental jazz music. It will be shown by, not show. It will be performed or played by. Because it's jazz, it's music. So it's performed or either played. It cannot be shown. Music is not something to be shown, right? And Kumoshiraku, if you're a huge fan of jazz, you should join 2 performances. First, Jazz and Heritage played by international jazz musicians will be started. Okay, that's too much. We'll start at 3. House of Jazz will perform instrumental jazz music. You don't even need to say performances. Just say instrumental jazz music. Okay, 5. They will play music, but they will play instrumental jazz music. That's it. Just simply put, that's it. Okay, Masa, there are 2 performances in the afternoon. Okay, you're right. Firstly, a performance called Jazz and Heritage by international jazz musicians is scheduled at 3. Another performance called Instrumental Jazz Music by House of Jazz, 5 p.m. is also scheduled. Now, Masa, it's a little bit odd when the subject is too long, okay? Your subject in your sentences are just too long. Try to rephrase it to make the subject part a little bit shorter. Pang Michelle. Actually, there are 2 jazz performances. Will be given. No, you need to drop the words will be. There are 2 jazz performances given at this festival. Okay? And at this festival. It's normally at some event, at an event, at a birthday party, at a concert. The first is Jazz and Heritage. The first one is called, guys, this is like a title of the performance. So the first one is titled, or first one is called Jazz and Heritage, which will start at 3. And then House of Jazz will perform instrumental jazz music at 5. That's good. And there's another one called Instrumental Jazz Music. Yeah, that could be the title of the performance, right? So you can say another one is called Instrumental Jazz Music. It will be performed because the music cannot perform itself, right? It will be performed at 5. We'll put on a performance, or we'll be doing a performance, we'll be having a performance, putting on a performance, yeah, doing a performance. There will be a performance called local band performances, given by, done by, put on by the local bands. But I would use local bands as a subject. Local bands will do some performances during the local band performances. Session. You could say session. Demonstrate? No. Demonstrate. No. We'll put on the performance. Put on. Nobody got this. Nobody got this verb saying putting on a performance. Many local bands will put on performance during the local band performances session. You can say there will be local band performances by local bands, or put on by local bands, performed by local bands. Okay? So for the last question, I would say something like this. The question is, I'm a big fan of jazz music, so could you please let me know during which performances I will get to enjoy jazz music? Sure, there are 2. Let me see. At 3, there will be a session called Jazz and Heritage, and it will be performed by international jazz musicians. And at 5 p.m., House of Jazz will perform instrumental jazz music for an hour. So those 2 sessions would be very interesting for you. You could enjoy jazz music during those sessions. So what did I say? What did I say? I don't even remember. So it was at 3, right? I said international jazz musicians will perform during the session called Jazz and Heritage. Is that what I said? Or there is a session called Jazz and Heritage. There is a performance called Jazz and Heritage, performed by international jazz musicians. And at 5, House of Jazz will play instrumental jazz music during the session. Okay. All right. I hope everything's clear for part 4. Do you have any more questions for part 4? Let me know. Okay. Now we're getting towards the end of the show. And as always, we're going to have a live feedback session, and you see where to send your email addresses if you wish to participate in that live feedback session, right? So send your email address to that email, and we're going to send you an invite or invitation. And when you press the join button or do whatever is set and told there, you would be able to come into that live feedback room. Okay? All right, now moving on to the last question, which is this. Do you agree or disagree that it is better for students to work before going to college, and why? Okay. So in Korea, or I think also in Japan, it's a little odd to see this kind of question saying, does that mean that high school students don't go to like college right after high school? Yes. I think this means like, before going to college, you work a little bit to find out what kind of interest you have, like what things you're good at, to figure out what you should be doing for the future, and then choose to go to college is what mainly this question is asking. Okay. And I have a friend, her name is Julia, and she has a husband who's coming from Israel. Yeah. And in this country called Israel, what high school students do after graduating from high school, they don't go to college right away. They take a year off. That's what I heard. They take a year off. They like sort of like travel around the world, and they take this time to look back on what they have done and what they will do in the future. So I think this question is something like related to that. Like you take some time off from school and you do something as work. You work at a convenience store, or maybe you do like some kind of an internship or at an office, or you do some kind of work. And then find out, oh, I'm doing good at this, I'm bad at this, and then go to college. Which is something very unimaginable for most Koreans. I don't know how it is in Vietnam. Let us know how it is in Vietnam. Do you guys go to college right away? Or do a lot of people go to college? Or do people just like don't go to college? What do you guys do? In Korea, it's like a set rule. Up until now, it has been like a set rule to go to college right after high school. But nowadays, a lot of students are not going to college. They, choose to work, or they choose to do something else, or train for some other things, which I think is a very good thing. I don't think everybody has to go to college. Not necessarily. Like personally, after graduating from college, my dad, I actually wanted to go to graduate school and major in fashion. So I told my mom and dad, hey, mom, dad, I want to go to New York and I want to go to FIT or Parsons and I want to become a fashion designer. And they thought I was like kidding. They knew that I had no talent in those kind of things. So I don't think they were like, laughing at whatever choice I had made, which I didn't even make. I just was thinking about like this kind of option. But anyways, I started working right away, graduating. And then I went to Shanghai to work for 2 years there. And it was pretty good. I was living in Shanghai during the early 2000s, 2003, 2004, 2005 were the years. And it was great because everything was so free and open. They were just like welcoming the foreigners to come to their country to show whatever they want to learn or whatever they want to get from us. And everything was so cheap back then. But nowadays, it's really expensive to live in Shanghai. Wow, we have a lot of newcomers. We have Ming, Ami, Lisa, Harry. You guys want to join the live feedback session? You guys are all welcome. Okay. Share with us your ideas. Do you agree or disagree that it's better for students to work before going to college? And again, I'm going to do 3 versions here. I'm going to do the level 6 version, I'm going to do the level 7 version, and I'm going to do the level 8 version. Okay? Oh, that's very sour. I mixed kiwi and then the mango juice and the pineapple juice and the coconut juice, and it tastes just like pina colada. Mm. Okay? All right, so what is the live feedback? Oh, you don't know? You get to join the live feedback for free. Yes. So you send your email to the link given above. It's www.gwenlev.biz/feedback. And we send you this invite. And once you get the invite, you press that, whatever thingy there, and you'll be entering this room, a secret room, where you can get a live feedback. KG, you agree? And for example, I grew up in a family that wasn't wealthy. And if I wanted to go to college, I had to earn my own money. Yeah, you had to pay for the tuition. You had to pay the tuition, right? You had to pay for college. Yeah, that's also a reason. Like in the US, people can't go to, you can get a student loan. I mean, you would have to pay back the money, but you still can get a student loan. And the interest is pretty low for students, but still, people like to earn some money before going to college. Hang Michelle, in my opinion, it's beneficial for students to take part-time job, work part-time, work part-time. So the expressions are work part-time and work full-time. So if you have a job and if you're working at a company, you could say, I work full-time at blah, blah, blah company. Okay. For example, I was an intern in art center at an art center when I was 19. During that time, I improved my soft skills. Okay. Explain a little bit about your soft skills that you learned there. Maxine, I agree that it's better for students to work before going to college. Most of all, it's helpful for them to clarify their career goals. Great start. For example, when I was in college, I wasn't sure about whether to attend college, so I decided to work for 1 year before college. I got my job at McDonald's. Well, tell us about working at McDonald's. I always wanted to work at McDonald's or Starbucks, which I had never had a chance to, but I think it would be very fun. Morgiana, Alibaba, you love my new haircut? Thank you. Thank you. Somebody said I'm playing around with my hair. I love it. I love it. It's just like one day hairstyle, but still I love it. Gina, I agree with the statement that it's better for students to work before college. Not colleges, just say college. First of all, it's helpful to know what I lack and what I would like to learn. Great answer, but you need more explanation and more details. And Teji, I wanted to study English at college, so I worked at a restaurant all day long during holidays and summer vacation when I was a high school student. Hey, keep letting me know what you want to say, Teji. Maxine, it turned out to be much more challenging than I had imagined. All right, Chan. In Vietnam, many students work and learn at the same time. Eventually, they skip offline classes and learn by themselves at night with online documents. Really? So they work during the daytime and then they study at night. That is, you have to be really diligent. I know what that's like. I mean, working and studying at the same time, that's so hard. Very difficult, very challenging, but it's not impossible. I know that because in college, I had to work too. I mean, I worked at several different places. Once I worked as a cashier at a bookstore, and that was pretty fun. Yeah, that was very fun. I worked on a campus bookstore, and that was good. And also, I did a lot of part-time jobs, part-time where I would have to work for 2-3 days, very hard, and then return to school, study. So I wouldn't have to work and study on a day. I would work on weekends and I would study during the weekdays. So that's how I managed it. Long in Vietnam, that's what students do. And nowadays, the life income has changed. More people think they should finish their education as soon as possible and then go to their work. But that's true. Okay. Every time I turn to this part, I'm very confused, talk very less. That's so hard. It's really hard to talk a lot for part 5. And that's why I always tell you guys to provide an example. When you provide an example, it's more like telling a story. So it's much easier than to just talk about your reasons why, your opinion, okay? So it's better to provide an example. One example is good enough. Just provide more details to your story. Gok, Gok, totally don't agree for this opinion because of some following reasons, and all of them is okay. What I can tell you, Gok, is that when you are providing the first opinion for this question, try to repeat whatever is given in the question. So if you disagree, you could say, I disagree that it is better for students to work before going to college. If you agree, you would say, I agree that it is better for students to work before going to college. Okay? That's how you could start your answers. Maxine, I learned quite a lot from working experience. In addition, I discovered that I had keen interest in interacting with people and exploring cultural differences. A year later, I decided to leave my job and return to college to acquire higher education in language and social studies. And what happened? And then what's the result? First, if you work when studying, you don't have time to focus on your lessons. I have a friend, okay, if you agree with this question, it means that you're full-time working. You're like working full-time. You're working full-time and then going to college, okay? So you're focusing more on working, either learning about like career, like, you know, starting your career or making money. You're like focusing on working and then you're going to college. That's the idea of it. And she was always sleepy because she had to work part-time. So late at night. You could say she worked from maybe 7 to 3 a.m. She worked the night shift. I agree. When I was in high school student, I used to work early as a newspaper. So you were the delivery guy. You were delivering newspaper. Through this experience, I got to know the value of money. Okay. That money was for application fees to university. Therefore, I know and learn it was good to work before college. Okay. Masa, that's right. That's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to provide an example. But the thing is, your example is a little too short. So maybe there's got to be a little more detail to it. Okay. It's got to be a little bit longer. Because people ask me about how many sentences that you should say for this part. Okay. But it's got to be more than 10. It's going to be around like 15 sentences for this part. 15. 1, 5. 15. Not 50. 15. Okay? Okay, I'm going to start out. Oh, this is really hard. Like working on all 3 levels. I'm going to start with the level 6. This is, no, level 8. I think level 8 is easier for me. Okay, here goes level 8. Well, I agree that it's better for students to work before going to college, and there are several reasons to support my opinion, and most of all, I think it's very helpful for the students. For example, when I was in high school, actually, I really didn't know what to do after graduating from high school. Like, my mom and dad wanted me to go to college, but actually, I didn't want to go to college. So we had a long family meeting and long discussions, and after that, we decided that I don't go to college right away, and I work for a year and find out whether I want to go to college or whether I want to continue working. So I got a job at ABC bookstore, and I worked there as a cashier, and sometimes I worked in the warehouse, the storage room, and sometimes I had to work on the display. And while doing so, I realized that I wanted to study more and I wanted to do something else rather than working at a bookstore. So I quit and I went to college, and during my college years, I was able to study harder because I knew this was a precious time for me. And that's why I think so. Okay, so through my answer, you guys have to realize that I was telling a story, but with more detail, okay? So I say that's my level 8 answer. I'm going to work on my level 7 answer. I agree that it is better for students to work before going to college. There are several reasons to support my opinion. First of all, it is very nice and helpful. For example, when I was a high school student, I didn't want to go to college. My parents and I had a very long meeting, and we decided that I don't go to college right away. Instead, I worked. I worked at a pharmacy. I was an assistant. Actually, I didn't like that job. So after 1 year, I quit and I decided to study more. And it was very helpful because I learned a lot and I became a teacher after college. That's why I think so. Okay, so this answer is basically for level 170 or 180. I spoke too good just to be level 7, 160. But anyways, you get the idea, right? Level 7, 8, and then level 7. Oh, when I said my parents and I thought, okay, that was too good for level 7 because a lot of level 7 students wouldn't say my parents and I. They would say me and my family had a long discussion, something like that. Now, this is my level 6 answer. I agree that it is better for students to work before going to college. And there are several reasons to support my opinion. And most of all, it's very helpful for the students to learn something good while they're working. For example, after high school, I didn't go to college because I wanted to make money. So I did many part-time jobs and I worked at a hospital. I worked newspaper delivery and it was very hard. After making money, lots of money, I went to college and it was very good. Okay, sorry, but that's like level 6, 140, 50, okay? It's really hard to make up a story every time, like 3 different stories. Okay, the reason why I'm giving you this, like, I'm showing you this performance, like, you know, of level 6, level 7, level 8 answers. I want you guys to know that typing is not everything, okay? Typing the answers, writing the answers, having the script is not everything. It's about how you speak. And when I approach level 6 answer, I sound very awkward, right? When I'm talking in English. I don't sound natural and I make a lot of like grammatical and expressional mistakes. That is level 6. So if you want to get level 7 or higher, it's very important to sound natural. And it's not about using very difficult, like, you know, sentences. You don't have to use all those like complicated expressions and sentence structure. You can use very short, clear sentences and try to weave out a story, make a story. Okay, now we're going to move on to the live feedback session. Okay, the fun time is here. All right, so we're going to change our screen to a different format, but we're going to have to, like, you know, take my face away from the screen for a while. Like, I'm still here. I'm just covered up. Just think that I'm behind the curtains right now. Like, we're in between the 2 sessions of the show. It's like an intermission, but I'm still talking because you guys might think that I left the show, but I'm still here. And I'm here. Don't worry, guys. We're just like changing the setting a little bit. I'm moving my seat around and moving the camera around. I'll be looking differently, but it's the same camera. And yeah. And we're going to open up this room, a very secret room, where we're going to send the address to the chosen ones. We have many chosen people here. We even have a Korean. Anne, I see you on the list. So be there, hang on, hang in there, and you guys will get a chance to talk on the show, okay? I think we're ready. Yeah, the camera focus is right. I'm sorry, guys. I want to start this session before 10, but it's exactly 10 right now. Oh, I'm taking a sip from my pina colada. It's getting sour. Oh, hi, I'm back. My face. My face is very glossy today. It's very glossy and greasy. I tried to wipe off that, you know, greasiness, but actually it's like the glittery powder that the person put on my face to look dewy. Yeah, moisturized feeling. Get that, you know, feel of the moisturized, like very soft skin texture kind of look. Well, I'm here. I'm back. You guys can see me now, right? It was fast. It was much faster than the last show. All right, so the first person who will get the invitation would be Ming. Okay, Ming, we sent you. We are sending you. We will be sending you. Sorry, we didn't send it to you yet. Oh, Taiji, sorry. Taiji's going to be the one first. Taeji, okay? Are you ready? All right, Taeji, to your Gmail account, okay? It's to your Gmail account. We sent you the invitation note. We sent you the invite, so you know what to do, right? Click, 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 and you'll be entering this room. Actually, Taeji was on this show live 2 months ago. He came to Korea to be on this live show, and he did a great job. And he got a book, a version of this book. I told you guys, like for a million years, I've been working on to translate it into English, but I haven't been like working on it recently. You know, there's a lot of requests. Please wait, unless you want the Korean version. But Taeji took the Korean version, and I'm going to ask him if he had been studying with it, if there were any difficulties understanding Korean. And I know that Taeji doesn't speak Korean, right? His English is great. I mean, we had no problem communicating while he was here. And even like through Kakao chat room and stuff, we have no problem like communicating with each other. The thing is, the reason why he cannot reach his goal level is because us Koreans and Japanese, our English intonation and accent is a little bit unnatural. That's the reason why. Yeah, I told him about this. All right. Hey, Taeji, did you get the invitation? Waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. You're here. You're here. Hi.
Yeah,
Oh,
안녕하세요.
no, hold on. Hello. Hi, Taeji. Can you hear me?
Hello. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Yes,
금방와.
yes. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Okay.
건방와.
Wow, you lost weight. What happened?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, you
Really?
became
Really?
skinny. Yeah, you lost weight. I can tell you lost weight.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, when? Okay.
Okay. All right.
When?
Uh-huh.
Your hairstyle 잘 어울리네요.
Okay. 감사합니다. 네. 새로운 헤어스타일입니다. Thank you. I told you I'm going to have a new hairstyle for the show.
Okay.
Okay, so which part do you want to work on?
Okay. Count on you.
Which part?
Oh, wow. Question 11 is okay?
Okay, let's do this part.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, you can start your answer. And the question is this: do you agree or disagree that it is better for students to work before going to college?
Question 11?
Uh-huh. Why? Okay, so go.
Okay. I agree that it is better for students to work before going to college. I think it is because it costs money to go to college. For example, I grew up in a family that wasn't wealthy. If I wanted to go to college, I had to earn own money. I wanted to study English at college, so I worked at a restaurant all day long during holidays and summer vacation. When I was a high school student, as a result, thanks to my hard work, I was able to earn enough money to pay for my studies without putting a burden on my parents. Also, by earning my own money, I learned the importance of money. That is why I think so.
That was good. But Teji,
Okay.
yeah, it was good.
Really?
It was good, but I
Mm.
need you to do one thing next time before you speak English. I need you to do one thing. I need you to
Yeah.
drink.
Okay.
I need you to drink some sake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took it.
Oh, really? The reason why you need to drink some sake or drink something, beer or whatever, and get a little bit drunk is because you sound so clear and it's a little too choppy. Okay. So
Oh, really?
when I was performing, when showing you
Yeah.
the level 6 answer, I was trying to sound like you or whatever, whoever like level 6 like Korean students would do.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I agree that it is better for students to work before going to college. Okay. So there's not much of linking going on. You need to do that linking.
Oh, yeah.
And I found that a lot of Korean students, when they are drunk, they do linking better. Your linking gets better when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to
Yeah.
sound sort of like sleepy or sloppier when you want to improve your linking sound. So don't try to speak so clear.
Mm,
Okay. Try to
yeah.
be like loosen. All right. So the answer is
Yeah.
fine. Answer, everything is so good. The story, you know what to say, you know
Mm,
what to do. Oh,
mm,
one thing I want to fix. Don't say when I was a high school student. The actual expression would be when I was in high
mm,
school. Instead of saying when I
in
was a
school.
middle school student, you would say when I was in middle school.
Okay.
And instead of saying when
Yeah.
I was a college student, you'd say when I was
Mm,
in college. Okay? That's one expression that I wanted to
yeah.
fix you on. But everything else was
Yes.
fine. It's only about the linking sound. So I
Oh, yeah.
recommend you to drink before taking the
Yeah.
test.
Yeah. Because thanks to
Hmm.
yeah, the hard teaching from you.
Okay. And Teiji, how did you like the book? Are you like reading the book, the Korean version?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And how are you studying with it?
Yeah. Oh, yes, very good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
this is Korean version.
Mm.
It's no problem.
No problem?
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you've been studying TOEIC
It's, yeah.
speaking and you know
Okay.
what to read and what to get from that book.
Yeah. Yes, it's very helpful. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you have a question, you text
Yeah.
me on
Yeah.
Kakao, okay?
Mm, yes. Okay.
Okay. And I'll see you in person in the near future, okay?
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Okay. 항상 고마워요.
아, 항상 감사합니다. 감사합니다. 아리가또. Okay, I'll see you next time.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Next time. Yeah.
bye-bye. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna have another student come up on the stage, on the show. And the second person, the next person is, what's the name of this person? It's Ming. Yeah, Ming, I called out your name a while ago before Teiji was invited. So Ming, you're gonna come into this room. We sent you the invitation. Okay, so you'll be getting the invitation to your email in the email inbox that you have sent us. You sent us the email address, and in that inbox you have received an invitation from us. Oh, Ming, you're here. Great, welcome to the show, Ming.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you coming from?
I'm from Taiwan.
Okay, so Ming, could you please introduce a little bit about yourself to us?
Okay, sure. My name is Ming, and I am working for accounting firm,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to prepare for this test. It's because my promotion. So that's
That's great. Okay, well, it sounds like your English is great. Do you use your English in your like daily life?
not really,
Not
just a
really.
little bit.
Okay, and how did you learn your English?
Listen to your video.
No
And,
way. No way. You're speaking like that just by listening to my videos?
recently.
Okay. All right. So which part do you want to do? Which answer you wish to show us?
I have no idea. Would you choose one? for me?
Okay. All right. Part 2. I choose part 2, the first picture.
Okay.
Okay. So once the timer goes down, you may start your answer. Okay?
Okay.
So here we go.
This is a picture taken in a game room, and in this picture there are 6 people. In the foreground there are 2 people. There are 2 men standing next to across the table, and they are playing table tennis. In the background there are 2 people standing and playing football, and behind them there are 2 people sitting on a chair and chat with each other.
Okay. So it's chatting, not chat.
Yeah, chatting.
It's chatting. Okay. Foosball, you got that right. And I think you were trying to say 2 men standing across from each other.
Yeah.
2 men standing across from each other. Okay. Other than that, what's your goal level? What's your goal?
160.
160. There should be no problem getting 160. Your English
you.
is fine. Okay.
Thank you
It's
very
only that you need to study a little bit to improve your expressions and knowing what to say for specific parts. But I think overall it's going to be fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for joining and hope to see you again during the next show, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Great. Well, like among other among all the Asian countries, I think Chinese people, anybody, not Chinese, but anybody who speaks Chinese have better pronunciation and intonation, like just compared to Korean, simply compared to Japanese. I think that's because they have those like four tones basically existing in their own like language. I think their intonation is much better than us Koreans and Japanese. It's just how it is. Next person is Ami. Ami, you got the invitation now, okay? You have the invitation. Click on the address of the invitation and you shall enter this room. Okay, Ami, please check your email. It's your Gmail account. So I figure a lot of like Taiwanese, we have a lot of Taiwanese joining our show, right? And they often come revisit the show telling me that they achieved level 7. And I think that has a lot of like big due to like it has, but a big part of it is due to their pronunciation and intonation, I think. Yeah. I mean, Korean students, Japanese students, and Vietnamese students, you guys all have great script, whatever you want to say for the answer. But the thing is the pronunciation. Yeah, the big part. Because after all, this is a speaking test. Whatever your spoken English is what is being graded, right? Dong Duan Gray is the address. The next person. Ami, if you can't come in. Oh, you're here. Ami? You're Ami, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so where are you coming from, Ami?
thank you. Thank you.
Can you hear me, Ami?
Yes, yes. I
Okay,
can
so
hear you.
could you please tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. I'm from Japan, and this is my first time to join this feedback session.
Wow. You're from Japan, and the moment you said you're from Japan, I was impressed by your English.
Thank you. And I'm a bit worried. I'm nervous about attending this class.
Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. So I'm going to be asking you a question
Mhm.
for the second picture of part 2. Okay. The second picture of part 2. All right. So once the timer goes down, you may start your answer. Here we
Okay.
go.
This is a picture taken in an office, and in the middle of the picture, there are two women. One woman is sitting in front of her laptop and pointing at a piece of paper, and the other woman is standing next to her and looking into the paper. And in the background of the picture, there is a man sitting in front of the table.
Okay. That was good. I think that was good enough for 7170. What's your goal level?
160.
160. I think there should be no problem getting 160 at least. I noticed that your TH sound is better than an average Japanese person because most
thank
people have a hard time making that TH
Mhm.
sound, but your TH sound was good. The only
Thank you.
expression you got it wrong is she's not looking into the paper, looking at the paper.
Okay.
Okay, not looking into, but looking at the
Mhm.
paper. Pointing at the paper or looking at the paper would be a good choice.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Thank
Ami,
you.
how long have you been studying TOEIC speaking?
Only 1 month.
Only for 1 month. Okay.
The about a month ago, I took TOEIC speaking test for the
Uh-huh.
first time, and I've got severe score, and I was shocked.
On the first test, everybody does the bad job, but you know what to do now, right? Through the videos, I'm pretty sure you got some like skills to perform. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you work on the last question, which is part 5, and also part 4, where you have to be really careful with the grammar, I think there should be no problem to get level
Okay.
7. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hope to see you more often on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. And we're going to have another person. Her name is Lisa. Okay. So Lisa, we send you the invitation. Her address is quite familiar. Okay. So Lisa, when you come on the show, come into this room, I'm going to have you do part 1. I'm going to have you read the first passage. Okay. So be ready before entering the room. Lisa, if you're there, please click the invite, the one that's in your email box. So we're going to wait for Lisa for another like 30 seconds or so, and we're going to move on to the next person. Okay. And you know, the good thing about this live feedback session is that we get to hear a lot of different people's English. You know, like we hear people like Korean speaking English. We hear Japanese people speaking English. We hear Taiwanese speaking English. I hope I could have like one Vietnamese speak English on the show today. So you guys get to compare like, oh, this English is like this, their English is like this. Because, you know, English is not only spoken in like American English setting, like a lot of different people from different countries are speaking English. So you got to be able to understand different people's English. And Lan Lan, hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, clear.
Okay, so Lan Lan, are you coming from Vietnam?
Yes, I'm from Vietnam.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
you're right.
I was just waiting for a person from Vietnam. So, like I said, I'm going to have you read this first passage. Okay? So, whenever you're ready, once the timer starts, you may start reading the passage, okay?
This is Angela Hiskins with your weekly weather forecast. We are expecting a quick shower on Tuesday, but you will be getting plenty of sunshine throughout the rest of the week. If you are planning to engage in any outdoor activities over the weekend, make sure to stay hydrated, apply sunscreen, and avoid being in the sun too long.
Okay. So, Lan Lan, are you working or are you currently a student?
Yeah, I'm a student.
You're a student, and why are you studying for TOEIC speaking?
I want to graduate.
Okay. So, in order to graduate, what's the level that you need to have?
170.
170?
Yeah.
That's a little high. Okay. So, here's the big tip for you. What you need to do is you need to drink, just like Taiji. You need to drink a little bit. Because Taiji's English and your English is too clear. It's too choppy, okay? You're focusing too much on reading each and every word. And in English, you need something called linking sound, okay? So when you're saying, this is Angela Higgins with your weekly weather forecast, it sounds like you're reading each word very separately. So when you link the words together, it's like, this is, not this is. It's this is Angela Higgins. This is Angela Higgins. This is Angela Higgins with your weekly weather forecast. You have to link all the words together. It would sound like as if the whole sentence is one word. But right now you're being a little too choppy. You're reading each word separately. So that's why I was telling Teiji, the guy from Japan, to drink a little bit and you would have a better linking sound. And it's the same for your Lan Lan. I think you're trying to speak very clearly, but that's not helping your English, okay? So I think it's better to work on your linking sounds first before moving on to the next part.
Yes. But in this paragraph, we just have some linking stuff. If I can link it, I mean that I can get better results in
Yes.
the question one.
Yes. If you have a linking sound. For example, let me show you the second sentence. Like your version would be, we are expecting a quick shower on Tuesday. We are expecting a quick shower on Tuesday. But if I link the words, it would sound like, we're expecting a quick shower. We're expecting a quick shower. We're expecting a quick shower on Tuesday. We're expecting a quick shower on Tuesday. You see the difference? Okay. So don't try to make every word very clearly. Don't read them very clearly word by word, but try to link the words. Then you can get better score.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes. Can I do it one more time?
Oh, yeah, sure. You can do it one more time. But let me show you before you do it, okay? I want you to read it slower in this kind of manner. This is Angela Higgins with your weekly weather forecast. We're expecting a quick shower on Tuesday, but you will be getting plenty of sunshine throughout the rest of the week. If you're planning to engage in any outdoor activities over the weekend, Make sure to stay dehydrated, apply sunscreen, and avoid being in the sun too long. Now, I was being a little bit exaggerative. But still, this is how you link the words, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
This is Angela Higgins with your weekly weather forecast. We're expecting a quick shower on Tuesday, but you will be getting plenty of sunshine through the rest of the week. If you're planning to engage in any outdoor activities over the weekend, make sure to stay hydrated, apply sunscreen, and avoid being the sun too long.
Okay. Now, let's do it this way, Lan Lan. Why don't you read it faster? Try to read it faster.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
This is Angela Higgins with your weekly weather forecast. We're expecting a quick shower on today, but you'll be getting plenty of sunshine throughout the rest of the week. If you're planning to engage in any outdoor activities over the weekend, make sure to stay hydrated, apply sunscreen, and avoid being in the sun too long.
Okay. I think the faster version is better. It's helping you a little bit more to link the sounds, okay? But still, the major issue here is the linking, okay? You're very choppy. You're reading each word very clearly, and that's the major, problem here. Okay? But other than that, everything is fine. Your pronunciation is not a problem. You got every pronunciation correct.
Yes.
Some people are going to say your pronunciation is bad, but no, your pronunciation is good. It's just the linking sound that you need to work on. Okay?
How much can I get if I take an exam? Because 3 months ago, I also took an exam and I just got level 130.
That's, I think, because of your choppy, answer. Answer is a little too choppy. So again, right now, I think it should have improved to 6150, but I think it's going to take a little bit more time to get into a level 7 range of level 7. Okay. So you need to work on the linking sound. You need to try to be sounding more softer. You have to sound softer. Right now, it's more like choppy, choppy, choppy. Okay. So once this video is uploaded on our channel, go back to the part where you're talking and where I show you how I read the passage and compare the two and try to follow how I read it. Okay. And it could help you improve your linking sound. Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. Yes. Bye-bye. Yes. All right, so we're going to have one more person on the show. And the name is Harry. Hello, Harry, are you there? We sent you an email with the invitation, okay? There will be an email address in that invite. And when you press that email, whatever address, oh, you're here already. Wow, that's really quick.
Hi.
Hi, Harry.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. So, Harry, please introduce yourself.
Hi. Oh my God. My name is Anthony. You can call me Harry for short. And I'm from Vietnam, a beautiful country.
You're from Vietnam. Which part of Vietnam are you from?
Sorry.
Which part of Vietnam are you from? Which city?
On the South Ho Chi Minh City.
Ho Chi Minh. It's the biggest city, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, your English is great. So I want you to try this part here. Let's work on, hold on, the last part.
Last.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Can I move to another part?
Sure, no problem. Do you want to do a picture then?
Yes.
Okay, let's work on the first picture then. All right, this is a difficult one. Okay, so once the timer,
another.
you want to do
another picture.
Oh, sure. Your choice.
Very
Yes.
hot picture for me.
Okay. Your
Sorry.
English is good enough. I mean, your English is great. The second
Yeah, I
picture,
have
please. Okay, the second picture.
Yes.
Okay, so once the timer starts, you may start your answer, okay?
This is a picture taken in the office, and there are 3 people in this picture. In the middle of the picture, there is a girl, there is a woman, and she's wearing a shirt and looking at the laptop. Next to her, there is a girl, there is a woman, and she is pointing at the document. Behind her, there is a man, and he is looking at something. Maybe they have a busy time together.
Maybe they are having a busy time together. Okay. Wow. What's your goal level? What's your goal?
I don't know, but I try my best. But I want to like 160
Okay.
60 score to in order to graduate.
Okay. You're a college student?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Wow.
I failed one time.
You failed one time. Okay. How long have you been studying TOEIC speaking?
Sorry?
How long have you been studying TOEIC speaking?
Just 1 month ago.
No, if you study
No, 1 month. 1 year ago.
You studied for 1 year?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and I took the exam like six months ago, and
Oh,
that's not so good for me. I failed.
okay. You
So
know,
I tried.
don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry, Harry. Your English is good. Be more confident. Don't be shy. And I always tell my students, if you speak louder on the test, you get 10 more points, okay? You get 10 more points. When you speak louder, you get 10 more
Yeah.
points, okay? So don't be shy. Just speak louder on the test, and you're doing a good job, okay? Just that you need to practice a little bit more. And remember, in the beginning of the show, you told me you're not confident to do part 5, and you're not confident to do a hard picture, right? You need to be
Yes, you know,
confident.
I I have some problem with my expression in English is not really good. So
Don't worry. You're expressing yourself very well, and your pronunciation is very clear, and it's very, easy to understand. So you should get level 7. It's not a problem.
yes,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you for
Yes.
coming on the show, and I hope to see you more often. Okay?
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. All right. So we had a lot of people from different countries today, from Japan, from Vietnam, and from Taiwan. And finally, we're going to have one person coming from Korea, and her name is Anne. Okay. So Anne, we sent you the invite. So please click and you shall enter this room. And this is going to be a great chance for all of you out there, the viewers, because you guys get to compare the Korean English, the Japanese English, the Taiwanese English, and what Vietnamese English. Okay, so we have so many varieties of people like being here on the show, and you get to hear different kinds of English. And you see, like, a lot of these people are studying so hard to get, like, not only TOEIC speaking level, but to speak English, because English is very important in this world, right? I hope Anne is still there. It's like past 10, 30, half past 10, and it's already like getting too late. But I hope she's on the show, still there. Hope she could join so we can show how Koreans speak English. Oh, no. Oh, no. I know it's a little too late. It's already 10:30. People think that our show ends at 10. But we still have one more. We wish to hear from you, Anne. Okay, but if Anne is not there anymore, we shall move on. But it was really great. I think I need to speed up a little bit. Like next month, I shall try to end the prior session before 9:30 and try to have more people during our live feedback session. Too bad. I was hoping that one Korean person could come on the show. I think Anne is still there. They say Anne is still on our YouTube live channel. We can see your name, Anne. Go check your email. Go check your email, Anne. You got you're here. Oh my God. Great. Okay, it's taking some time to see her face. We need to see your face, and I should be able to hear you. Oh. Okay. Anne, are you
Hello?
there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so I don't need to see your face. It's not necessary. Okay, if you can speak.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so where are you
Yeah.
right now, Anne?
Oh, I am in the near my cafe.
Oh, you're at a cafe. You're at a cafe?
Yes.
Okay. And can you introduce yourself a bit to us?
Yes, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
I am Korean,
Mm-hmm.
and it's my first time to join your live,
Mm-hmm.
and I started TOEIC speaking 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Incredible. Incredible. All
Yes.
right.
So I think I could do part 1 or
Sure. Let's do part 1 then. Let's look at the second passage of part 1. And why are you studying TOEIC speaking, Anne?
Because I want to work at I want to work abroad.
Oh, okay. So if you want to work abroad, you need to achieve the TOEIC speaking level.
Yes.
What's your goal?
My goal is 200.
Really?
Because I started. I told you I started 2 days ago.
I
so-
think if you like study for maybe half a year, it could be possible to get level 8, the perfect score, 200. Okay? Because
Oh,
basically your listening skills and your pronunciation is like both great. Your intonation is very natural. So let's read the passage and I can give you more feedback, okay?
okay.
All right, let's go. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Reading this.
Mm-hmm.
Here is what you've all been waiting for. Today, we have invited Ben Walker, who is the author of the hit series Hall of the Forest. His latest release has sold millions of copies all around the world,
Mm-hmm.
including America, Europe, and Asia. Without further ado, let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Okay. Wow. Now, you have a very good English sound. You have good pronunciation, and your linking, intonation, and the accent, everything's great, except that you read the word ado. It's not ado, it's ado, without further ado.
Ado.
Without further ado. And when you're reading the name Ben Walker, you shouldn't make that L sound. It's got to be Ben Walker. It's a soundless L, okay? Ben Walker.
Okay.
And Ben Walker.
Okay.
And overall, everything was good, but I hope you could improve your, like being more natural when you're reading. Because right now, it sounded more like you're reading a textbook. But this is not a textbook. This is more like a script of a person talking, okay? So you need to sound more natural.
It seems like talking each other.
Yeah, you have to, it must sound like you're talking to another person. Do you want to try it again? Do you think you can try it again, like sounding more natural, like you're talking to somebody just like what we're doing right now?
Okay.
Okay, let's read it again.
Talking to my friend.
Like you're talking to your friend. Okay?
And you said without further
Ado. Without further ado. Without further ado.
Okay.
Yes. You may start.
Here is what you've all been waiting for. Today, we have invited Ben Walker, who is the author of the hit series Hall of the Forest. His latest release has sold millions of copies all around the world, including America, Europe, and Asia. Without further ado, let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Okay, so you got 20 more score points for this reading, okay, compared to the last one. Okay, so you have to sound more natural. Do you understand, Anne?
Okay.
All right. So as you practice and study TOEIC speaking, I hope you stop by our channel more often. And next live, we're going to be having our next live show during the last week of October, which is the 27th. So make sure to be there during the live show, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming by. I hope to see you more often.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, so guys, that was the last guest to have on our show, and it was great. It was great to have people from all different countries, wasn't it? All right. So again, I'm telling you guys, it's not about the pronunciation. I haven't pointed out any, it's too greasy. Okay, any pronunciations. It's about like I would say how natural you could be. And in English, if you want to sound natural, you have to have a good linking sound. You have to have, better intonation. It shouldn't sound like you're reading a textbook, those kind of things. It's quite complicated. It's not easy to explain. But as you're watching the show more often and reviewing the show, you shall be, able to understand what I'm talking about. And you shall be able to copy what Gwen's doing, right? And it's going to help you a lot, okay? So Taiji, it's going to get cold from now on. I know it's going to get colder and colder. So you always be careful, guys. Stay safe, be healthy. And it's going to be the Thanksgiving's week next week. So we're going to have a long break, long vacation. I know many countries are having a long break starting next week. So, stay safe, whether you're going somewhere, whether you're having time with your family. By the way, I'm going to go camping. I'm going to go camping with my family, and it's going to be great. I'm going to grill some marshmallows during that time. We used to do that when we were young. My mom and dad would take me and my brother on camping trips, and we would do lots of like barbecuing and grilling marshmallows, and we're going to be doing all that. But when I come back, like I said, I'm going to be having my next live show on the 27th of October. It's right before Halloween, guys, right? The 31st of October. It's right before Halloween, the 27th. So be there, be square. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.